Good morning and welcome to the What's Up News Network, being broadcast from Panama City Beach, Florida, the home of the world's most beautiful beaches, and only 323 miles from Booger Holler, Georgia, the center of the universe, where the people are so good they have to hold on to the blackberry bushes to keep from being drawn into heaven. I am Jim Free with Jim Free Realty. Please click on the red subscribe button. Let's go to some stories from Booger Holler. I was having trouble staying asleep a few months ago, and someone suggested that I try the CBD gummies. I did, and it seemed to help, but after a week of use, I had to discontinue use because I was having these weird dreams. In one of the dreams, I had died, but could still see and hear what was going on around me. It was like an out-of-body experience. I dreamed I was at my funeral. Ivanette had budgeted for the funeral, and it was very nice. As the last guest departed the affair, Ivanette turned to her closest friend and said, "Well, I'm sure Jim would be pleased," she said. "I'm sure you're right," replied Diana, who lowered her voice and leaned in close. "How much did this really cost?" "All of it," said Ivanette, "was $30,000. "No way," Diane exclaimed. "I mean, that's very nice, but $30,000. Ivanette answered, "The funeral was $6,500. I donated $500 to the church. The food and drinks were another $500. The rest went for the memorial stone." Diane computed quickly in her head. $22,500 for a memorial stone? My Lord, how big is it? Ivanette answered, 2.5 carats. If you receive our monthly newsletter, you have already heard this story about my cousin Sammy's motorcycle accident. Because it shows unselfish gift from his wife, it bears repeating. My cousin Sammy Joe had a motorcycle accident and his face was severely scarred. The doctors could not use skin from his body for a skin graft, so Betty Sue, his wife, offered to donate some of her skin. However, the only skin the doctor felt was suitable would have to come from her buttocks. Sammy and Betty agreed they would not tell anyone where the skin came from, and they also asked the doctor to honor their secret. After all, this was a very delicate matter. After the surgery, everyone was astonished at Sammy's new face. He was more handsome than before. Sammy was overcome with emotion at her sacrifice. He said, "Dear, I want to thank you for everything you did for me. How can I possibly repay you?" Betty replied, "I get all the thanks I need when your mother kisses you on the cheek." I recently received my federal firearms dealer license. I don't know why I got them, but I do have them now. When I started reviewing all the federal forms that are involved, I noticed under sex you could choose male, female, or non-binary. I wasn't quite sure what this meant, because even in Booger Holler we have mirrors and we know what sex we are. I checked on Amazon, and sure enough, they had a page after page of bumper stickers, and I bought one. We like to keep the latest medical emergencies out, and this is some advice from this studio. Some older men like to chase after younger girls, but when you get my age, it is better to have a woman that understands the signs of stroke. Now let's go to our space program. NASA has had some difficulties getting Artemis moon rocket off the pad. I would recommend they make room for our space czar to hitch a ride on Artemis. I understand they already have 3 dummies aboard. Surely one more would not make any difference. Now to the national news. September the 18th, 2022 is National Voter Registration Sunday. It is believed that 90 million Christians in the United States are eligible to vote, but as many as 15 million are not even registered to vote. To save our country, we must get off the couch and vote. Several years ago, I had a friend that had been very successful in business. He had retail stores in several states. He was a pilot, owned a plane that had all the bells and whistles. He said he would often sit in the plane and set it on autopilot, read the newspaper, or take a short nap while traveling from store to store. But then one day it caught up with him. It is believed that he was asleep at the wheel when his plane went down in Tennessee mountains. Have we been asleep at the wheel? Every time we watch the news, we will hear the term unprecedented, which means never done or known before. President Biden destroyed our ability to energy independence. Unprecedented. Attorney General Garland instructs the FBI to investigate parents at school board meetings. Unprecedented. President Biden attacked 71 million conservative American citizens as they were terrorists. Unprecedented. I noticed one of my favorite authors, Thomas Sowell, said that very same day, any politician who can be elected only by turning Americans against other Americans is too dangerous to be elected. We now have male, female, and non-binary on federal forms. Unprecedented. Our borders are wide open, allowing hundreds of thousands of illegals to enter our country, unvetted and unprecedented. The highest inflation rate in 40 years. Unprecedented. The recession formula changed by the President and the Treasury Secretary. Unprecedented. The Justice Department and the FBI leaking information of the FBI raid to Jeff Bezos' Washington Post and the New York Times about evidence in the Mar-a-Lago raid. Unprecedented. Critical race theory, equity inclusion, and gender reassignment being taught to elementary students without parents' knowledge and consent. Unprecedented. The raid on a former president of the United States home with what appears to be a general search warrant in violation of the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Unprecedented. Gestapo-like raids and arrests of friends and associates of a former president. Unprecedented. FBI lawyer falsifying an affidavit to obtain a FISA warrant. Unprecedented. FBI agents plotting to overthrow an elected U.S. president with so-called insurance policy. Unprecedented. FBI agents slow-walking and hiding evidence in the Hunter Biden case. Unprecedented. Former intelligence officers signing a statement stating that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation when they knew or should have known that this was a lie. Unprecedented. Presidential executive order requiring those who don't have student debt to pay the student debt of someone that does. Unprecedented. President Biden's boarding policy causing over 100,000 deaths per year because of fentanyl poisoning. Unprecedented. Hiring 87,000 new IRS agents. Unprecedented. Perhaps we should dust off the flat tax and abolish the IRS. The Democrats defund police movement. Unprecedented. Vice President Kamala Harris raising bond money for rioters. Unprecedented. Democratic support of George Soros-backed liberal district attorneys. Unprecedented. No bail laws. Unprecedented. Crime surging across our country. Unprecedented. The Afghanistan withdrawal. Unprecedented. Biological males allowed to compete against female athletes. Unprecedented. 2 out of 3 of American families living paycheck to paycheck because of the Biden policies. This is not unprecedented, but certainly not necessary. President Biden is going across the country trying to provoke the conservatives into violence. Don't take the bait. Violence is not the answer. Voting is the answer. This coming election might be the most important vote you will ever cast. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of these progressive politicians leading us down unprecedented paths. I will vote for Christians to lead our country. If the Apostle Paul were living today, I believe he would be writing a letter to us, similar to the one he wrote to the church of Galatia. We are in a spiritual war. The progressive movement will lead some to deny the fullness of the Trinity, which would cause them to spend their eternity separated from the glory and splendor of God Almighty. Bless your little hearts. If you have been led astray by a progressive movement, you can come back by the grace of God, and I hope you will. Until we meet again, may God bless you, your family, and this great nation that we live in.